stage micro VC that backs, supports, and invests in remarkable tech entrepreneurs at the earlier stages of their businesses. We've invested in 12 startups so far since a little over 2 years ago that we launched. One of the startups that we invested in is an Edtech startup called Schoolable. They help facilitate affordable finance for schools and parents. I think a lot has been said today about what needs to happen for Edtech to succeed in Africa, and I couldn't agree more with what everybody has said. I think we should take note of those important factors and notes. I think the Edtech industry is a pretty challenging industry for entrepreneurs to disrupt. It's also a challenging industry for investors to see any significant return on investment. It's a challenging industry for schools, parents, and key stakeholders in the space to embrace as well. And I think that there's a need for us to see Edtech as a next fintech, which is important because education is super important to the economic growth of the continent. So I'm going to attack this from the entrepreneur's perspective as an investor and what entrepreneurs need to take note of when they're building their companies. So I'm going to start with the first one, which is, as an entrepreneur, you need to understand the education space, right? It's important for you not to assume what is best for the schools and the parents or whoever your target customer is from the outside, right? Customer needs are different, schools are diverse, community needs vary, and culture demands that we have different solutions, right? So it's important for you to have, an understanding of what you want to achieve and also the specific problems that you want to target, right? That brings me to my second point, which is having educators involved in building. Like while you're building, you need to have educators involved, right? A couple of the panelists have talked about how we neglect the teachers and educators while we're building, right? So I feel like it's important for you to be successful. For you to be successful, you have to have the educators in-house. What it does for you is it gives you credibility and it also affords you the right guidance as you build out your solution. Number 3 would be high quality content. So I always like to say this, that content is to education what location is to restaurant businesses, right? It's super important that you build and develop high quality content. A good software with a very crappy content is not a good thing at all. But you could have a good content with a crappy software and still look very cool. So it's important for you to ask yourself this question: do you really want to invest the time, the money, and the patience to build high-quality content for the customer segment that you are targeting? Number 4, and lastly, would be understanding the bottom line, right? It's important for you to get into the edtech business for the right reasons. If your sole reason is to make money, you're already destined for failure from the very beginning, right? Don't get me wrong, edtech startups will fail. A lot of them will fail. But for those who would hit it off with a good business model, solid proof of concept, very important, and the entrepreneur who understands the approach for this unique ecosystem. It's really a unique ecosystem. It's very challenging, but you need to understand your customer segment, and it's very, very important. In conclusion, I would say, despite the rate at which technology has improved a lot of our lives in different aspects, school education hasn't really changed that much, right? But I still strongly believe that the edtech is education's way of adopting privileged technologies to provide quality at scale. Thank you very much.